Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobes One-Eye Kenobi Show on the 9th of February. Nearly forgot when we were. And in the studio, live, we have Dumpman.
Nice to be back.
Hello, Dumpman.
Nice to see you again. Hello there.
Looking very resplendent. Very tall, actually. Are you comfortable there?
Yeah. I was just trying to look bigger and more impressive.
Yeah, you're dwarfing me. I hope you're all going to be very kind and nice to good old Dumpman. Now, when was the last time you were on the show?
Be as unpleasant as you like. It's fine.
Yeah. When were you last on the show?
I think it was 2019, probably.
Wow.
Because we
had that funny 2 years.
Yeah, that sneaky little 2
that
years.
happened.
Yeah.
That stopped a lot of things.
That stopped me anyway. Yeah, 2019, so it's a couple of years.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
And we're now upstairs.
We
the
are.
Studio has moved. So Dumpman was ready to go into my old utility room.
This is, I can't believe the changes I'm seeing here. All this, even more technology than there was before. Great big bright lights. I feel like an insect in a laboratory or something.
It is a bit like that. We are actually insects in a laboratory. People
looks pretty cool.
Watching us through the microscope. So now Dumpman has come on the show, and the proviso was
that I brought some beer.
Coming
soon. Not yet.
Not yet. He's brought some beer, and as you know, I'm a big beer drinker. We would talk about what you do, because there'll be a whole new audience who have no idea who you are. 2 years is a long time in YouTube broadcasting. So people may be going, Dumpman, what the hell is Dumpman? Who is he? What does he do? And of course, we'll have some wonderful old regulars.
Yes, he'll be going, oh God, not him again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they do that every time I pop up on the screen, so that's no biggie. So Dumpman, we've got Mr. Baziby out there, says, he's great, it's Dumpman. A lot of people saying hello.
Oh, this is all the people.
Yeah, this is all the people. So
it'll take a little while to get used to this.
Yes, absolutely. So can you see it there?
I can see that very clearly.
Fantastic. Yeah. A lot of people saying hello. Do we not have the comments up before?
No, you had them secretly squirreled. So I couldn't see them.
Oh yeah, because we didn't have the big screen in those days.
You could hide all the abuse, you know.
Yes. No, here you get everything. You get all the abuse and everything. Mr. Mocky says, with the mushrooms of doom in the old studio. Yes, that's right, Mr. Mocky. I've been growing mushrooms. And that's in the utility room, where I've just got junk, basically, and mushrooms. And that's where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're not. We're upstairs.
Thank goodness for that.
I know. Where there is a little bit more space.
There's a bit more space. I was just saying to Richard when I arrived that I'm amazed by all the technology, the gadgets, the new camera. But we've still got a lovely old piece of cut-off kitchen worktop. Yes. The table is analogue, if everything else is digital.
So here we go, look.
It's fantastic.
There's the table.
Yeah.
Analogue table with A-frames. If you can see that, there we are, look.
Yeah.
The bits you don't see...
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. There we are. There he is. Mr. Dumpman himself. That was the special behind-the-scenes camera, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, it's lovely to see everybody. So we do have some videos to play in, and I'm just looking here. We have a railway-related... I think we've got 2 railway-related videos.
Well, I'd like to see them.
One from Corfe Castle in Dorset.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I know that well.
And Bodiam Castle in Sussex, or otherwise known as Bernie says, Bodgham.
Yeah.
Which is the Sussex way of saying it, apparently.
I guess so. I didn't know that.
No.
I'll pretend I did. But
I'm sure he will tell us in his own words in the video. So we've got those to play in as well, ladies and gentlemen, to keep you going. We also have a couple more. Wilf Myers sent in a video, but it's a little bit late for today's show because I'd already set it up, so we'll bung that in on Friday. And if we don't get round to playing all your videos, we will shove them in on the Friday show. He says, using the word shove as if that was a very polite way of saying it. Of course, you can give us a call, as some eager person has already done, has called in.
All right.
So this is where we put the headphones on and we find out what eager beaver has called in on the show. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello. Straight in with 100 questions for Dumpman. It's Zane from Worthing. Hello, Zane.
Hello, Zane.
Hello.
What are your questions for Dumpman?
What's your job?
What, you mean my normal daytime job?
Yeah.
I work in a warehouse most of the time. partly doing warehousey kind of things, driving a forklift truck, packing boxes, that sort of stuff. And the rest of the time I look after some property that belongs to the company I work for. So it's a little bit of, being a bit of a what's the word I'm looking
Jack
for?
of all?
Yeah, a bit of jack of all. It's partly manual and it's partly cerebral. There you go. That's about as good as I can give you, I think.
It's partly cerebral, Zane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I use my brain and my body some of the time.
Must be fun driving the old forklift.
Yeah, it's great.
Have you ever driven
Yeah.
a forklift, Zane?
Pardon?
Have you ever driven a forklift truck?
No.
No. Would you ever like to? Because he's into cars. Zane's into cars, fixing cars and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Whereas Tim, who's out there, I hope, he fixes forklifts.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got a contract. He comes over and he sorts out the wood yard near me.
Well, maybe he's fixed my...
He may have fixed
Yeah,
yours.
he
Who
may have
knows?
done,
He's
yeah.
just one of those people. You ring him up and he comes out and he just is like the AA, but in forklifts.
Yeah,
Forklifts.
or the green flag, basically.
Pardon?
Green flag.
Like green flag. I mentioned AA because I actually had a puncture today.
Oh.
Yeah, I was doing a little favour for Julia because she had to go and have some blood taken out of her arm because she had too much of it. And she was
Overflow.
filling an extra finger. I don't know what was going on. And so I said I'd look after little Joe, her son.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and we met up at Asda car park in Lancing. And as I parked up, I got this puncture. I didn't notice. But little Joe, who's 2, he got out of the car when he met up. And he went, uh-oh.
Your
And-
car's knackered, mate.
yeah, he says you better call the AA out, and he got out. He's got out the number because obviously Joe, that's 2 years old, has got the number with him. And I called the number, and the AA said, "Can we talk to Joe because it's his membership we're going on?" I'm making that bit up. So it could have been green flag. Is green flag your preferred one, Zane?
No, I think for AA.
Yeah, yeah. As my friend Ricky said, he didn't know I had a drink problem, but there we are. But there's Tim. Tim's in. He's probably missed the bit about the forklift truck. There we are. He's going, what are you talking about? Did I fix it? Have I fixed it? Has it gone wrong? Does your forklift go wrong much?
It does, yeah.
Does it? Is that a thing with forklifts?
No, not particularly, but the one we have is quite old. And the management want to buy a new one. I say, no, stick with the old one.
I was going to say,
This one,
it's
this
nothing
is-
that you keep revving it or driving it.
No.
Or you-
It's, the new ones have all got buttons and lights, much like the way you like to live. Whereas this one is just levers and...
No, I do
smoke.
like
It's,
levers and things.
It's an analogue forklift, be there such a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, we'll
good.
get on to analogue very soon. Well, Zane, there we are. It's lovely to hear from you. Have you had a good day?
Yeah.
Yeah? Done anything special today?
I went in the at school. I have a gym.
You have, yeah? What did you
Yeah.
do in the gym?
He worked
I went
out.
on the rowing machine.
Oh, did you go very far?
Yeah.
Give us a clue then, because I haven't a clue how far you could have gone.
I went quite very fast on the rowing machine.
Right. Does it, I mean, I assume, in a gym, it'll tell you how many miles that you've rowed.
Probably tells you how
Yeah.
many calories you lost or something.
does it?
does
I think I don't know how. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not important how many calories. I expect you're a slim fellow anyway, Zane, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 I thought you were.
You're full of muscles.
Yeah.
No fat at all.
Not an ounce.
No.
That's why you mustn't upset any of the audience because they can come round and punch you on the nose. Because Zane, you're an aggressive bloke, aren't you?
Yeah.
You'd come round and punch me on the nose.
No.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's a relief. Thank goodness for that. Phew. Well, thanks for calling, Zane. You better have a rest after being on the rowing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, take care. Look after yourself.
I will.
Bye.
Can I make a,
Nice to talk to you, Zane.
can I make a request?
Yeah, of course.
Can I look behind the scenes, please?
What do you mean?
I want to see the behind the scenes of the Vobes Show.
When you say, explain a bit more. By how do you mean? What do you want to see?
The camera.
Oh, the camera. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you looking at your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. There'll be a delay of about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna put
Okay.
my behind the scenes camera on, and
Okay.
you will see behind the scenes in about 30 seconds time, something like that. it's not always obvious. There's the camera. It's a Sony something or other. I can't remember. It's a bit old now.
It's a Sony Hi8.
It's not a.
No, it's not a Hi8.
It's not a Hi8. I can tell you that much. And there's a big telly there. There's lights up here. Look, you see, and in the gallery over there. There's people working ever so hard. There's nobody there. Look.
Oh, you haven't paid them this month.
No, I haven't paid them at all.
Can I see the phone?
The phone.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is. It's just a mobile phone connected.
Oh, that means the phone I'm talking to you on.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
No, well, I won't make it come up because your number will be suddenly lit up for all the viewers, which we don't want.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll get lots of anonymous phone calls, people like that. Anyway, we've got to go. We've got to move on, Zane. Look after yourself.
Okay.
Take care.
I will.
See you, Zane.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
There we are. That was Zane from Worthing, and very inquisitive about the behind the scenes.
Interested to see your phone.
Yeah.
As am I, of course.
Of course. You get to see it. It's actually there.
It's a lovely phone.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, if you have any questions for Dumpman, you are welcome to give us a ring on 0793 47 46790. Do you know, I've just remembered, I had a phone call from an unwanted service provider trying to sell me a service I didn't want.
Okay.
And they got into their conversation and they asked me for my phone number, my mobile, because they'd rung the landline.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember the area code being on my normal phone, and I gave them this number.
Oh, so they might crop up in a minute.
Well, they won't crop up because they said they'll ring me sort of about 10:30 on Friday.
What service, can you tell us this? What service were they trying to
Well, they were
provide
trying
you?
to sell me with broadband.
Oh, okay.
And all of this. And do you know, this is a funny thing because I found this quite useful actually. They were telling me, oh, but we can make it cheaper. Who's your current provider? Blah blah blah. We can make it cheaper. And I said, well, I don't want it cheaper. And that foxes them for one thing. Why don't you want it cheaper? I said, well, it depends. Do you want it cheap and crap, or do you want to pay a little bit more and have a really good service? Oh, well, we've got a really good service. Yeah, okay, but I'm happy now. You've got to make me happier.
Yes.
Well, we can make. I said, well, okay. How do you bill? Well, we bill you monthly. I said, okay, I don't want to bill monthly. I want to be billed quarterly. Well, we do bill monthly. I said, well, okay, I'm not any happier now, am I? And what about this then? I don't want to pay on direct debit.
You were being very awkward.
No, because this is how I'm with a big provider. I don't necessarily want to be with the big provider because I believe in small businesses and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I can pay quarterly, and when I get the bill, I can pay when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Within 14 days. But these guys, they come up, we can make it ever so quick and ever so reliable and all of this, but you have to do it monthly. And you have to do it on direct debit. So I said, this is, if you want my business, it's not for me to conform to your service.
Yeah.
It's you want my business, you're supposed to bend over backwards because I'm already happy. You've got to make me happier. And you're not. Oh, well, I can ring you on Friday at 10:30. Yeah, well, there's a number for you to ring. And so I gave him a different number.
I think you need a beer.
I think we do.
You're getting all worked up.
I know.
about your
I do.
service.
I love getting worked up. This is the show for getting worked up in.
Yeah.
Are you warm enough or too warm?
No, I'm very warm, actually, yeah.
Shall we turn it down a bit? Are you happier? Warm enough?
I'm-
Are you happy? Or can I make you happier?
You can make me happier by turning that
Off.
scorching thing off, yeah.
Yes, no problem.
Too hot, damn it.
Julia likes it hot, you see, and it drives me. Sometimes I can't work out how to do this. Just keep talking so they know that we're still alive.
We're still here. We're just going to have a quick drink to lubricate the conversation a little bit.
So Dumpman is a very nice man, but he does like to. Whoa, steady. He does like to bring his beers. Here we go.
Well, I like to share my beers.
Yes, it's very kind. He's actually yes. I mean, I never share anything. So now, if you want to contact the show, remember you can give us a call or in the chat room, make sure you put the @ and the Vobes Show. It comes up orange on our screen, makes it easier if you've got a question. Can you turn Dumpman up a little bit, says Jeff and Mandy. Yes, Jeff, Dumpman is a very quiet-spoken individual.
Do you want me to lean in a little bit closer?
Yeah, that would be
I
great.
tried to do that last time and then forgot.
I'm going to turn up the gain a bit, but there's not much more gain I can do.
Give me some more gain, studio.
Yes, or I can tell you what I can do. Hang on, lean across you here.
Oh, yeah. You can slide me in closer, darling. How about that?
I'm sure that's very, very sexy now.
Should we have a toast? Let's have a toast.
Yes, cheers.
What should we have a toast to?
To your success.
Oh, that's nice. I'll have a toast to yours then. Cheers, and cheers.
What
to
are
the
we
rest of you.
drinking?
I think we should have a toast to Richard's people because it's nice to see you all again. Thanks
Richard's
for having
people.
me.
I like that. Yeah, they'd probably like it too.
Yeah,
You're
that's good.
very welcome. Anytime.
So the last time, not the last time I was here, but the last time I saw you was when we did the Opham, whatever it is, chalk pits.
Oh yes, with the dramatic opening.
Yeah, with the Star Wars opening theme, which I thought was great fun.
Which was good. If you didn't see that, do check it out.
Yeah.
What did we call it? I can't remember. It was the chalk pit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Opham chalk pit.
tunnels. Yeah,
Chalk pit tunnels. The funiculars.
that's it. Yeah.
And we scrabbled down those funiculars in the name of art.
Yes, we did. How we suffered for our art.
We certainly did. We both ended up with broken legs, sprained ankles. We were in hospital for 6 months. I may have lied there a bit. We have another phone call.
Oh, we're back on.
Yeah, no, it's great. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Oh, no, yes. It's the old geezer from
Southwater.
Parish of Dibley, Southwater.
Oh, hello, Parish of Dibley, Southwater. It's Terry Banton, ladies and gentlemen, if they didn't know. You're through to Dumpman.
Hello, Terry.
Good evening, Tunnel Man. Oh, sorry, Dumpman.
Anything's fine.
He's very open to suggestion.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Open to
Yes.
persuasion always. Yeah.
Yes, I watched with interest when you did a video with Richard about 3 months ago at Opham.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just mentioning that actually, where we went down the funicular tunnels.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought it was a funicular railway.
Well, it was at one time a bit of a railway, although it was. Would you call it a railway?
Yeah.
It
It's the
was-
first railway in Sussex. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The fact that it's
Yeah.
funicular, still a railway.
And it wasn't steam operated. It was what operated on gravity,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
It was the fact that one truck had a whole load of chalk presumably in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, chalk. And as it goes down, it sends the other one up, and then they would fill the next one, and so on and so. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good idea because it doesn't burn any fossil fuels, does it?
No, exactly. They were green.
They were ahead of their time, weren't they?
You see, if Boris was around, he'd love that.
Boris is
Yes.
around.
Net zero carbon.
exactly. Yes, he is.
So far.
So far. Sorry, well, net zero. Yes, they were practicing net zero. When was that? 1850s?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, a long time ago.
I was going to ask Tunnel Man whether he's been ever walked down the Downs Link, which was the former Stenning line from Horsham down to Shoreham.
Yeah, I've done that a number of times because I actually live in Henfield, which is, it's good access.
Because there was a station at Henfield, wasn't
Yeah, yeah. So I've cycled it quite a few times. And on my 50th birthday a couple of years ago, in the middle of the whole lockdown thing, I cycled, all the way up to Guildford and back in a day, which on the rally chopper, of course, which was
That was hard work,
It
wasn't
was
it?
hard.
I bet your thighs
I don't know
were
if it was
aching.
harder on me or on the bike. Actually, we were both in in a state at the end of that. Yeah. Anyway, in answer to your question, yes, I know the Downs Link very well, and frequently go cycling on it with my daughter now. So it's great.
Do you walk on it at all, Terry?
Yes, frequently. I walk down to West Grinstead where they've got an old railway carriage.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So that you go through Henfield then to get to West Grinstead, don't you? Is it north? It's north of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North of Henfield. Depends where you start.
Well, of course. But what I was thinking is, Henfield is one of those villages in which, when Richard Beeching made the cuts, it was quite good for Henfield because it stopped the development of Henfield growing. It may be growing now with motor cars, but at the time,
Yeah.
is that not true?
Yeah.
I read that in something
Arguably.
saying that if the railways had remained, it would have grown quicker.
But then all those people that lived in Henfield that used to take the train for work or leisure or whatever, then drove. So
Yeah, we're talking about 1960s, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose the motor car was around in the. I seem to remember my dad had a car in the 60s when I was about a young whippersnapper.
Stenning have got a museum. I expect you're aware of it, but they've got a lot of old photographs of the Stenning line and other bits and pieces, memorabilia. station signs and the like. It's quite interesting in there.
There's a very good film called The Lost Railway. You've probably seen it. It's available. I think it's probably on YouTube now, but it used to be sold as VHS tape in years gone by. But all sorts of lovely old footage. If you've not seen it, The Lost Railway, I think you'd like it.
Perhaps you could do a remake.
I did do my own version about 15 years ago. Nothing like as good. I wouldn't bother with it.
Nothing like as good. Better, I think, is the answer. On more modern technology. So the thing about Stenning's interesting, because where the station was and the bit of the railway, the road, the bypass is where that is. Which it's always nice when you're driving, because you're actually driving on the line, aren't you? The road of the rails.
That's it. And as you're driving under one of the bridges in the winter months.
It's quite interesting. A lot of these branch lines had stations that weren't too close to the centre of the towns or villages.
Yeah, most of them were miles away.
But that must be down to the landowners and the permission of being able to get you've got the whole thing about the route has got to be relatively straight, presumably. You can't have it wiggling too much. And then you've got to get the landowners to sell you the land.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot of backhanders about, well, I'll sell you the land. You can have a bit cheaper if you're a mile away from the town.
There's quite a few where they're 2 or 3 miles away from the middle of the village.
Which, when you think, if it's in the old days of steam with the smoke and the soot and all of that, and you're there with your garden, with your washing, it's probably quite nice not to have the trains on your doorstep.
Yes, I have walked the other way towards Christ Hospital, which is just south of Horsham, where it joined the main Arun Valley line, as it's now known.
Is that what it's known?
Yeah.
Oh. We did excuse me, this beer is repeating on me. We did a video at Christ Hospital, didn't we?
Yeah, one of the first ones we did, I think.
Wandering along with these tree stumps.
Yeah.
I think they must have been sycamore coming out.
They just started clearing it, I think, around that time. Yeah.
And we did one at Singleton.
Singleton was great because we got in there just in time.
Just in time, because you can't get in.
Well, you can't get in, but they've cut it all, officially. But they've cut it all down. So that wonderful jungle is and that's the magic. That's the point. If you've got a station like that, you can feel as though you're the first person to have been there since 1950, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now it's all a bit stale now.
Yeah.
No point in breaking it.
I'll just mention the tunnel, which is because there was a connection from Christ Hospital onwards to Guildford, continuing west, and there's near Rudgwick, Cranley area. There's a tunnel called Baynard's, and that's been closed off because they've turned it into a bat sanctuary.
Yeah.
Batman.
Oh, yeah. Batman. I think I found the entrance to that one time, did a video, and then moved on up to Rudgwick Castle, where there's a motte. A motte, an MOTTE, not a motor testing station, not that sort of certificate of whatever it is. It's an old Norman earthwork. There's not barely anything of it, but you can walk to it and stand on it and wave a flag and then get shot at by the landowner. You can do that.
Get off my land.
Get off my land. Fire piles here. What are you doing? Well, Terry.
I better get back to my model railway layout, which is in my living room at the moment.
Oh, is it?
I think it needs attention, Terry.
Yes. Is it one of those clockwork Hornbys?
No, it's all digital DCC.
Oh, that's not good, is it? You want one of those old-fashioned clockwork, you wind it up with a giant key.
Yeah, it's 00 gauge.
Oh, 00 gauge.
00H, huh?
Is that the one that James Bond rides on? 00 gauge.
Oh, very good.
Very good.
Yes.
Anyway, Terry, lovely.
007 is my favourite steam loco. 007, yeah.
007. Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Mr. Dumpman. I hope your choppers are okay.
Yes, they're doing fine. Thank you, Terry.
Chopper's in good working order. So he tells me. Anyway,
as in bicycles, for people who don't know what a chopper is.
It's behind the scenes, shall we say?
Yes. He's not an axe man. Anyway, talk to you soon.
Good night to you. Cheers.
Goodbye.
Bye.
There we are. Terry Banton from Southwater, full of knowledge on trains. I didn't know he had a train set, so there we are. If you want to contact, we've had a few inquiries on the what's name. Let's go back and find out what you've been saying. Mark Burgess says, ask Chris, has he ever visited or done a video about the Lees Cliff Vernacular in Folkestone?
No. I never have.
Never have. Willie?
No, probably not.
Probably not. There we are. He's honest, if nothing else.
Is it disused? I don't
know. You see, that's the thing. You're mainly into the disused ones. If they're still working, you're not really interested, are you?
Folkestone, to be honest, there's a bit of a gap as far as my stuff in Kent goes. And I've got a number of people who live in Kent who've bought my stuff who said, when are you going to come and do some more stuff in Kent, you know? All I've done in Kent is the Hawkhurst branch line, which is wonderful. And if you haven't been there, you should go and have a look. A tunnel without a fence, you can just walk straight in. It's lovely.
Wow.
But I've not really done anything else in Kent, and that is kind of on the list. But
is there a reason why you've avoided Kent, or you just can't be bothered?
Not really. I mean, I just naturally kind of went west, you know,
right,
and did everything between here and Devon.
Right.
It's nice in Devon, you know. Kent. I have got a couple of things waiting in Kent, but the Lees Cliff is not one of them. Yet.
There you go. Now, Stars is asking the obvious question, which we have covered in previously, but of course for new people, what's the story behind the name Dumpman?
It's quite boring, really. Well, it's nothing exciting. You
need to do one of these things where you make up a different story every time.
Yeah, I could do that.
And so nobody really knows, and you come up with all sorts of stuff.
So, briefly, so as not to bore too many other people who already know the story, there was a dump near where I was at school, and people used to hang out there in the afternoon and have a smoke, and I used to be there most of the afternoon. So people would go up there and say, "Oh, it's that guy who's at the dump again," you know, the guy from the Dumpman. That's it.
And what type of dump was it?
It was
like a tip.
Well, it was like a tip, but there was all sorts of great stuff in there, like stereos and stuff, you know, which we used to pull out and repair, and it was an interesting dump. It was great. It was real. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, there you are.
So that's it.
So that's the story behind the Dumpman name. And Mark Burgess says it's out of service, awaiting restoration. The funicular at Folkestone.
Oh, all right. That's infinitely more interesting then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the tip.
So if it's been out of use for a while and almost forgotten, that's the appeal, isn't it?
That is the appeal, and the other appeal, which I'm sure you would agree with. You don't really want to go to some tourist attraction in a film. It's much more interesting to try and evoke the ghosts, you know, that would be there.
Yes.
Had it been working. So I'm much more interested, having just heard that.
So there we are. There's a good possibility. Brilliant stuff. Well, we're coming up to the halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen.
You're drinking faster than me.
And I'm sorry about that. I get very
right.
excited when I have a drink, because I drink like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
So I'll be on the floor. So it's, you know, to make the most of it whilst you can. If you would like to give us a call on 0793 4746790, we'd be more than happy to take your calls. Brian Jeffries says, I hope the last caller stays on the right track and never gets off the rails. Let's hope he doesn't. Nuggets Van Life says, urban exploring. Is that what you describe it as?
Not really. Not really. I mean, you know, I've seen the Urban Explorers stuff on YouTube about hopping down drains and all that sort of thing. I like to be out and about in the countryside. Are we on again?
We're on for another caller. Yeah, hello caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello there, both of you. Good to see you again, Dumpman. It's been a long time.
Hello, who are you?
This is Ed.
This is Ed Loud.
Hello, Ed.
Hello. Well, just hearing that you hadn't done much in Kent, so I wondered if the old line into New Romney, the large line, was on your list at all, because when I was a kid, I remember playing around there and seeing the foundations of the old station, which is no longer there. Obviously, they have the smaller railway, but this was a mainline big train, as I called it back then.
So that's no longer, it's a disused railway, is it?
This is to do with the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch.
Is it
no,
no?
It's a big train, you know, full-size mainline sort of railway. I don't know whether Beeching...
So is it one that what came from London and then came down to the...
I don't think it came from London.
Right.
I know very little about it, but
went along the coast,
I'm guessing it came from the Sussex direction. It's heading out towards Rye or perhaps Appledore. It's heading that way.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I know there used to be a station there a long, long time ago. I've only ever seen the foundations of it. But, yeah, I just wondered if it was on the list. It's relatively unknown. I know people who live in the area who didn't know there was an actual station there once upon a time before the Romney Hive and Dim Church.
Well,
I've never heard of it.
Station Master's Choice says it's the Appledore to New Romney branch line via Lydd.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
that would be it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Lydd still, the station at Lydd is still there, disused, and people are always nipping in and out of that, taking photographs.
Are they? Yeah.
Yes, I know there's still a line that goes to the power station at Dungeness, but it doesn't take passengers. It stops a bit further outside where the power station is.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I know they used to take the waste away on that and things like that. But I don't know if
hang on a minute.
that's
Is it? It's not a nuclear power station, is it?
Yeah.
So are they taking nuclear waste on the end of that train?
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah. It's probably the safest way to take it, to be fair.
Yeah, probably. Is that you can always tell which one it is because it's the glowing carriage, and they always do it at night as if it's a shooting star.
It popped into my head. Wondered if Dumpman knew about it. Wondered if he had any plans to do it.
No plans, but you mentioning it has put it on a list.
You've sparked some bit of. I was trying to think of something clever that goes with nuclear waste. You've sparked a sort of a reactor.
A nuclear winter on my forehead. Yeah.
A reactor in his head. A train of thought.
I knew more about it. I know so little about it. It's one of those things that one day, no doubt, I'll put it in the Google machine and find out more about it. But I just remember being very small and seeing what I guess were foundations and somebody telling me that it used to be a station.
Oh, right.
So,
there you go.
Yeah.
How many years ago was that, do you suppose? Your memory?
Roughly. I mean, I only saw the foundations when we're going back about 25, maybe 30 years ago.
Okay.
So, I mean, that station must be, goodness gracious, maybe the 1930s. I wouldn't know. I'm sure there's people out there who are
it's probably older.
Screaming in the comments now. Maybe Station Master's Choice or Mark Burgess or someone who knows the area or knows trains would know more than me. But, yeah, it was interesting. Just in my mind, being a child, I always thought, wow,
So there's a line. Has the line been pulled up?
No.
Yeah, there was nothing left. There was no metal left. I saw some bits of wood that someone said might have been sleepers, but.
Right. Which bit are we talking about? Because people in the comments are saying that things like the line sometimes has charters along it, which I assume is like a rented train.
That might be the line to the power station, perhaps.
Yeah. Right. So where are you talking? Where is the point that you're talking about that you remember there being just these remnants?
So this was in New Romney itself. There's no main line that goes there. No big train, as I called it back then. It's just the Romney Hive and Dim Church, which was a completely separate thing. But
Station Master's Choice says it was closed in 1966. He reckons. The new Romney station was on the other side of the road from the Romney Hive and Dim Church.
That's right, yeah.
But a length of track went across a level crossing to where the train shed is now. So there we go.
Oh, how fantastic! So when I was a child, I always dreamed that I could sort of get on one of my local trains in Greenwich or Woolwich Arsenal and somehow connect up to the Romney Hive and Dim Church. If only they would reinstate that track. So
yeah, there you are.
That was I always thought if I'm ruler of the universe and I own the country, I'll reinstate that.
Very good. Well, let's hope you do. That's very good. Ruler of the universe. It's always good to know the ruler of the universe.
Master of the universe, yeah.
I keep my feet on the ground, you see.
Yeah, of course. we can see that. Thank you so much, Ed, for that. That's interesting. Another place to, and if he doesn't do it, I'll obviously have to get my act together and grab Bernie and grab Mark, and the three of us can go marching up and down this line and go, Dumpman didn't do it. just for the fun.
Why not?
Why not?
All right, I'll get going and let someone else call or let a video come on. Take care, both of you.
Yeah, look after yourself, Ed. Thanks for the call.
Ed. Nice to talk.
There we go. Ed Loud from, sometimes up in Greenwich, sometimes on the Romney Marshes, looking for Dr. Sen over there on the thing. See, we do have some.
There's some interaction there, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah. No, but what I meant was railway knowledgeable people.
Oh, loads.
Station Master's Choice is he is, and we will see. Actually, I'll play in the video. He's the chap at Bodiam Station or Bodgham Station who does volunteering at a heritage railway. And as a station master.
Yeah. Are we back again?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
It's a nice busy night. We like these nights where people call in. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hello.
It's Richard Suggett from the Veg Grower Podcast, the podcast to listen to if you want to know all about the inside workings of camping cars. I may have mixed up my podcasts and videos there, but Nuggets. What do you call it? Nuggets. Van Life.
Nuggets Van Life.
Yeah,
yes.
there we go. Marvellous channel. Brand new.
Brand new.
Yeah. Anyway, you're through to Dumpman, Rich.
Good.
Hello, Richard.
Yes, well, it's Dumpman. I wanted to ask a question.
Excellent. I'm going to go and make a cup of tea.
Coffee, white, nation, sugar, please.
Righto, Governor.
My wife's got into urban exploring over this last couple of years. She's been to Singleton.
Yeah.
Can you recommend any other places that she is worth going to visit nearby?
The tunnel that we went in, is that still available? That tunnel, where was the tunnel? Where you had a party?
Oh, no, that isn't still available, unfortunately. That was in Newark, Cinder Hill Tunnel on the old Bluebell line, just south of the A272. Lovely little tunnel. I haven't been down for a few years, but I'm told it's all fenced off. New landowner. So that's a no-no. It depends. I mean, there are some tunnels that go through the Midhurst to Chichester line, which are amazing. They are fenced off, but you can still, in the case of Cocking Tunnel, village of Cocking, you can peer through the fence and still see, from one end to the other, which is, is impressive, and you can still see the tunnel portal. So that's pretty good. That would be high on my list. Depends what you're after, really.
She's just saying she's done that Cocking Tunnel.
Okay.
Well, that's libelous, isn't it? I've done that Cocking Tunnel. I want another Cocking Tunnel to go down. Give us a Cocking Station. That's what I want.
Well, there is a Cocking Station.
There you go.
Cocking Hell.
Yeah.
Cocking Hell. It's all a load of anyway. Where hasn't the lovely Amanda, urban explorer extraordinaire, been to?
Well, if we know where she hasn't, we wouldn't be asking.
Well, that's very true. Railway-wise,
yeah. That's why I thought Dumpman might have a few ideas.
Well, there's stacks, there's stacks in Sussex, but are you specifically after tunnels, or is it just general being on a railway track or
buildings?
Just anything abandoned on the railway.
So it's got to be a structure rather than just a bit of track bed.
Track bed will work. Anything that she can get some good photos from.
That's the motivation. But it's nice. I mean, if you've got old buildings and things, it is nice, isn't it?
What about the Heathfield to Polegate line? Has she been over that way?
No.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, we did Hellingly together. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
We peered through the fence.
We got into the station.
Yeah.
We were very lucky. There was a woman hanging out her bra and panties on the line, which she had on the station.
Can we come and film your...
Yeah, can we film your underwear, love? Yeah. And she was very
said
nice.
Yes.
She said, give me an hour. She'll sweep the station, which she did. So we did a bit more filming. Then we came back. And she was going, oh, hello. And she was more than happy. And then she offered services which obviously we couldn't possibly admit to.
We didn't include it in the film.
No, but it was very good.
Long type of film.
Yeah.
Good value.
Only the Patreon members got to see
Yes, that's right. They had to pay at least a ton.
So, yes, Heathfield to Polegate is good. What else have we got? Three Bridges to East Grinstead to Forest Row.
What sort of things would you find on these lines that you're talking about?
Views.
Bridges.
Beautiful bridges, deep cuttings, high embankments.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's nice.
Station platforms, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's all relics,
So
Yeah,
abandoned.
she's doing that all good thumbs up.
Oh, good. Abandoned station platforms.
Yeah.
So you can stand on there and wait for the 9:45 to.
In some instances, yeah.
Yeah. That's always nice, isn't it? To get a picture of you standing on a station as if waiting for the ghost
Yes,
train.
looking irately at your wristwatch, and nothing happens.
No. But in a video, you see, you could put the sound effects of the station arriving. It's evocative, isn't it?
Yeah,
sure. You can evoke history that way.
We could do a podcast, and then it's all up to the imagination.
Exactly. There you go. It's all in the. I mean, with a podcast, you didn't actually have to go there at all. You could just be standing there and sit here and just go. Well, we're now walking up onto the old platform. There's the gantry. Look, there's the station master. It's Bernie, and he's waving his lamp. Get off the line. The runaway train from London is coming in. The boiler is going to blow at any minute. Oh my goodness. You were there, weren't you? You were there for a moment. You were all there.
Yeah, I definitely was.
Yeah, wishing you weren't.
I was about to run under my bed to hide.
Julia, the lovely Julia said, whoops, that's a gutter moment.
Yes.
I think she might be referring to the personal services, the lady.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was about 80-something, wasn't she?
No, I don't think she was a day over 70.
All right, there we are.
Yeah.
You don't think she was a day over 70?
No. She was a babe.
Well, she was... I didn't go inside, so of course I stayed out. I was
Of course you did,
Very
yeah.
good boy, me. On the platform
with
with my
the camera.
With my camera, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's all good. And that's a good place for you to take your camper van over that neck of the woods, isn't it?
Yes, well, that's other things I'm looking at doing as well. As you know, I went on the Billy line the other day.
Oh, the
other
Billy
week.
line at Hayling Island. Have you done that one?
Yeah. That is nice, isn't it? The views across to Portsmouth are great.
Yeah, and the remains of the old railway bridge across the sea to the mainland.
If you get that at low tide, that's impressive.
Yeah, yeah, we were quite impressed. Well, I certainly was.
Yeah.
Impressed
But you're
with
easily
what we
impressed,
saw
aren't you, Richard?
there. Well, I've got low standards.
I'm only joking. So what was the railway bridge? Can you get onto it?
You can get onto each end of it.
Right.
There used to be, it was a wooden trestle across the harbour, and their concrete bases are still there. The wooden trestle's gone, and they had a sort of swing bridge in the middle to let the boats through.
Oh, right,
and
of
that's
course.
all still there.
That's all there. The pier of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot still to see. It's good. It's worth it.
I must go down there because I've not been down that neck of the woods.
Yeah, you should check it out.
I must check that out.
Yeah, there you go. That's another walk for you.
Horham Station is still visible.
Yeah, a bit. Platform. Not much else.
Don't know where that
No
is.
bridge,
Horham.
just above Helling Line.
Oh,
Close.
is it?
Yeah.
Wristwatch. Surely a pocket watch is more in keeping with a bowler hat, says Mr. Mocky. I'm not quite sure where that comment came from, but you're probably right. The cuckoo line suggests stars.
Yes.
Much on that?
Cuckoo Line is what we're talking about.
Is it?
Heathfield.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah. So I should have said Cuckoo Line. Not Heathfield to Polgate.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But Richard knew that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, of course I did.
Don't
Yeah.
spoil it for us, Richard.
Yeah.
You knew that.
No, you
Yeah,
knew that.
yeah.
You knew that. It's interesting you mentioned Helling Lie,
Yeah.
because I remember going there when the hospital was there. It's all gone now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, mostly.
And they've built these new apartments there, which is incredibly reminiscent of what was there before, which, in my opinion, it just looks like a prison camp. No, it really does. You go around and it's like these luxury apartments, and it's just all this red brick, red brick.
Are there any of your people?
Yeah, they probably all live there. They're going, Richard, you'll just upset us again.
Yes. Can we have a big shout out from anybody that lives in the site of the old Helling Line Hospital?
But I didn't go in. I was too nervous.
It's not that bad, is
Do
it?
you not think so?
Wow.
I drove past it and I just thought, this does look like a lunatic asylum.
Well, there we go.
And I have filmed
You
in.
fit right in there then.
Yeah, I filmed.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lovely lunatic asylum. I don't know whether you're supposed to use that word anymore, but they
I
were
don't think
built
you
as a
are.
lunatic asylum. I mean, it used to have this one up in Victoria Water in Surrey, up there, towards Windsor way, but Victoria Water, just off the M25. It would have lunatic asylum.
Virginia Water.
Virginia Water. Beg
This
your.
is
What did I say?
Victoria Water.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's
where
heard of that?
Who's heard of that? It's Virginia. Well, I know it's VW.
Oh, okay.
Victoria Water. No, what did you say it was? Virginia Water.
Water, yeah.
Up near where the American camp was and the American school and all that sort of stuff. And I used to go filming there as an extra because they filmed the series Young Chaplin many years ago. This thing about, it was a TV series of Charlie Chaplin's formative years as a youngster. And they built, using some of these old buildings and new buildings, a replica of London.
Right.
But then I went there again for something with that singer in the 60s who used to have, there was a singer in the 60s who came back, made a bit of a comeback with Zoe Wanamaker. Adam Faith. And he had a series there, and they had in there, inside a hospital, his flat. And it was basically a large room in the hospital, derelict hospital, with hole in the roof. And then they built this flat out of theatrical flats. And you go inside, and once you're inside the flat where all the film, where it was all being filmed, you would think you were in London somewhere. It was brilliant. Yeah. I mean, you just transport. You go, what? Hang on a minute. I thought I was in a lunatic asylum, and everybody else knew you were. It's a very weird world. Stars Hellingly is at modern housing now. Yes, only the old chapel remains derelict. I wonder if you can go in the old chapel.
I think you could with permission.
They don't need permission. They just go in. You don't have permission, do you, Richard? You just climb in and go sod the consequences, don't you?
I don't do it. I don't do it.
Amanda.
It's my wife that does it. Amanda does it.
Amanda, yes, Amanda Suggett from 27 Acacia Avenue, in case the police are listening.
Yes.
Thank you.
And she's not married to me at all.
She's not married to Richard at all. She's an independent person, and she's quite happy to spend 25 years in Clink.
Certain amount of distancing going on there.
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah. But if you do take her, actually, I might get a few nights peace and quiet.
Absolutely. Yeah, you and Roxy, his lovely little new dog, will be lovely.
Yeah.
I think that's why you got your camp-in van, isn't it? So that you could go in your van with the dog and leave the old trouble and strife at home.
Yeah, well, that's half the plan.
That's half the plan. You get away.
Half the plan.
You can sleep in it. You can cook in it. You can get away, and life is lovely.
Life is peachy.
Because after all, the allotment is too close now, isn't it?
Yeah, I can still.
She knows her way to the allotment. That's the trouble.
No, there's no hiding at the allotment.
No hiding in the allotment. Although the fences are bigger now, so.
Oh, are they?
You can't get in. Yeah.
But that's all right. She's an urban explorer. She probably carries one of those bolt cutters as standard practice, doesn't she?
She probably knows how to get through the fences without.
Yeah, she's quite small, your wife, so she could just slither underneath, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll find the other ways in.
Yeah. Dear, oh dear. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you very much, Richard, for that. And thanks to Amanda for the questions that we never heard her voice in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you indirectly, Amanda.
Nice to meet you indirectly, Amanda. And you too.
Oh, I heard the voice, yeah.
There we are. She does exist. She's a real person. She's
definitely
not just a myth. It is not Richard in a dress.
No, definitely not that.
I've yet to see him in a dress.
You never will.
No, we've seen him naked. The Naked Gardener. We've seen that some years ago.
Yeah.
You've forgotten about that.
But that's somewhere in the group, I think.
You've still got the footage of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's an image you just can't get out of your retina. I mean, I had an eye extracted just to try and get rid of that image.
Just to try and sort it out.
Yeah, but I've still got one left. Anyway, Richard, lovely to talk to you.
Yep, all the best.
Take care. Look after yourself.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. There we are. That was Mr. and Mrs. Suggett from 27 Acacia Avenue. Check out the Veg Grower podcast and Nuggets Van Life if you want some fun. This is all going very well.
Swimming along.
I was going to show a video because we're sort of running out of time. This is Bernie at Bodiam Station. This is what he does. Behind the scenes of a heritage railway station, what they do when the trains aren't running. Let's have a look at this.
Greetings, Vobesters of the world. Many of you will have seen my videos on my channel about Bodiam Station where I work, but many of you probably aren't aware how much work goes in during the close season. So I thought I'd just do this little video. There's actually no moving pictures in it, but I took some photographs yesterday while I was over there working just to show you what goes on. That was Jim working his way through some little maintenance of the wooden bits that, well, they start disintegrating after a while, so he grafts new bits onto old and does a very good job of it. And here's Adrian, he's mixing up his paint. He's the fence painter, and he loves getting out there and slapping the old white paint on the fences, as you'll see in just a moment coming up here. We are beginning to make things look a lot better, ready for when public services begin. We've got a few next week, but they're starting and finishing at Tenderden, so we won't be having any passengers getting on here. But our main season starts in April, and we want to get everything looking spick and span. You can see we pay attention to the maintenance of our little bits of garden here and there, and that's all beginning to come up looking very nice. One new feature this year is our whack-a-mole course. You might find it a bit hard because there's the poles behind to whack the moles with. No, seriously, every year we seem to have a problem at this time, and it amazes me how the moles can shove up that amount of dirt. But there you go, we'll tidy it up, and by the time the public get here, hopefully the moles will have moved on, and everything will be okay for them to walk on. We're starting work on our hop garden. It's Colin on the left, and there's Frank over there digging away in the station master's garden, ready to plant his dahlias for the year. And we will have some lovely dahlias on show, I can assure you of that, if you come and see us later on in the season. The leeks are coming on, and that's now ready for planting with other plants. This is what we couldn't do last year because we got there so late, so this year things will be better. And I was helping, amongst other things, in the station platform garden. Colin put down a whole load more of this bark on the walkways, and I went round behind him, some of it, and flattened it out, just so we've got somewhere to walk around. The public don't walk around this, but it makes our life easier when we're dealing with the gardens. And Colin, through the winter, and Gay, they've stripped everything out, made it all ready for some new plants that are going in there, and it's looking all nice. And hopefully when people start coming back to see us, they'll have something worth looking at. The gates have had a little bit of a lick of paint, and there you see in the distance the castle. So we're working hard to make sure that everybody has a good welcome when services start properly from this station on the 2nd of April.
So there we are. That's an insight into Bodgham Castle Railway. Sorry, the beer's getting to my head now. Luckily, I have a whole load of gin to get through.
On the water.
On the neat gin. I was just saying to Dumpman, you know, that there you are, a bunch of volunteers reproducing history, and I said, was it really like that back in the day? Would they have grown their own vegetables? It makes sense that they would, and you said quite right, they do.
Very much so.
And some of these heritage railways, hello caller, just bear with us 1 second.
Sorry, here we go.
Some of these these old disused lines, you go outside and you were saying that
I noticed that the guest headphones are like a pair of commodes compared to the luxury ones you're wearing.
It blocks out the noise of my guests on the show.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So what I was getting to, you said that there were fruit trees and fruits and stuff growing. Yeah. Even though the station is long gone, the stuff that they used to grow, the remnants of that is still...
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fascinating. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Richard. It's Tim.
Hello, Tim. How are you?
Hello, Tim.
I'm all right, thank you. Hello, Chris.
Do you this is the forklift truck repairman.
Oh, excellent.
We were pondering whether you'd fixed Chris's forklift truck in the past, but
possible.
It is possible. There we are. Anything's possible in this world. Anyway, you're through to Dumpman. Do you want to ask him a question?
I do. Richard tells me you're a bit old school when it comes to videos, how you do it.
Yes. I mean, I still use a Hi8 camera.
Hang on, just pause there whilst there's a gasp from the audience who are used to digital and phones. You still use old-fashioned tape on Hi8. Some people won't even know what that is.
Why is that?
The machinery is cheaper, and my whole setup is built to do that. So I mean, I'll record on high 8 and then play down the wire to an old video, a DVD recorder, you know, the ones the ones that were like VHS players that they made about 20 years ago. And if you've got all that hardware, it's quite difficult to jump, you know, into the stuff that Rich is doing and, you know, new digital stuff. I can't really be bothered, you know, so I don't. And the thing is, if I fall off my bike and trash the high 8 camera, which has happened, or get caught in a rainstorm or whatever, then you can get another one on, you know, eBay for not very much money. So it's a low rent, you know, it's a low rent hobby, which that's it really. Laziness and inertia and being happy being in the past. What other reasons
happy
do you
with
need?
what you're used to.
Yeah. I'll probably still keep doing it, you know, even after people have stopped buying it.
No, that's fair play. If you're happy with what you're using, then why move on to a different medium?
Because the argument, I guess, that people using modern day stuff would say that the picture quality is a bit old school and less good.
Yeah.
And yet, so what we haven't said to new people who've not come across Dumpman is that you make your films, you make videos, full length feature films, as it were, in high 8, and you sell them on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put anything on the internet other than an intro to what you do on YouTube, and that's it. So if you want to, you know, but you will give them long format video of you really following a train line.
Yeah.
It's I was just trying to think of bells and whistles. It's everything, isn't it? You know,
I mean, it's a lot of detail. That's without trashing what anybody else does on YouTube, because I think there's room for everybody. And I've worked with you and I've worked with some others. But what I like to do is get the nitty gritty, you know, try and get permission from every landowner who owns a station and go and see every nut and bolt, brick, signpost, the lot. So if somebody really wants to know about a particular railway line, then if they come to me, they feel they're getting more information than they would anywhere else. That's the plan.
It's unlike sort of YouTube shorts or television programs where it's assumed that most people don't have the attention span.
Yeah.
You've gone into it in absolute detail, and that's great.
Well, most of the people, I mean, some of them are 5 hours long, you know. I mean, a lot of the people that buy those will watch, you know, half an hour a day, and sort of serialise it in their own way.
Yeah. 5 hours.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing that gets me, Tim, is that he's editing 5 hours in high 8.
That's an awful lot of editing.
Well, it's not just so much the editing, it's just that if you get one mistake, you've got to start all over again.
Yeah, that is a pickle. But you do become, for anyone else that might be considering this torturous path, you become very disciplined about what you film. And so, you know, I pretty much film exactly what I need. I know, you know, because you don't want to do that editing. You just want to be able to play.
Yeah.
So it does have its advantages in some ways.
So there we are. So if anyone's got any high 8 equipment they no longer need, you'll be more than happy to take it off their hands.
Yeah.
What, like this one in my left hand?
Oh, you've got one in your left hand?
Yeah.
And it's high 8, is it?
I believe so.
Oh. Are you wishing to get shot of it?
I have no need for it, so absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Most people don't, because most people have bought into this modern way, digital or what have you. Well, it's digital or nothing these days.
Yeah. Nothing.
But so, because I think we spoke about this, and I said to Dumpman before, I said I couldn't remember who it was who said he had a high 8 camera. Now I remember it's you, Tim, and you said, I could bring it round, and I said, well, let's just get Mr. Dumpman, excuse me, this beer is repeating again, on the show, and just to confirm it was definitely high 8. So
we'll be in touch, Tim. We'll talk about it.
Okay, perfect.
And thank you for the thought.
So there we go. I'd love to find somebody else who films in high 8.
No.
Do you know, I mean, you sell your DVDs. Do other people come on board and say, oh yeah, I'm still filming in it? Or do they ever question what it's filmed in?
Very rarely, actually.
All right.
Very rarely.
They don't say it's all very murky.
I think they accept. Well, I mean,
is it in 1040? Is it in 1080?
There's a lot.
That's a format, by the way, 1080p, just in case you didn't know.
I did know that.
Yeah, I just thought
only just knew, yeah. No, but I mean, what I try and do is extract the most fidelity that you can get out of that format. So you can, although it's a high-end camera, you know, you can get a good high-end camera.
Yeah.
And then you make sure that you use the best, you know, leads between your camera and your DVD player, buy the best tapes available. So, you know, I mean, the early stuff I did is mush, you know, but the later stuff I think stands up reasonably well. It looks analog, but you're not missing too much detail.
No,
really,
and it's part of the charm, I suppose.
Well,
because
it is for some people.
You're into heritage things. It's heritage video, you know, and people used to watch old black and whites, and they'd be quite happy with scratchy black and white 16mm stuff.
Silent cine film, you know.
Yeah,
the rest
exactly.
of it. Yeah. Yes.
So there we are. So Tim, have you got any more questions?
No, can't think of any at the moment. There are a couple of for your previous caller, a couple of places around near Crowborough that they could go and visit. There's an old bridge that goes across Sheriff's Lane. In Crowborough, there's buttresses and metal structure above it. You can't get onto it, but it's there.
Oh right. Oh, that sounds good. Sheriff's Lane, did you say?
Sheriff's Lane.
Yeah, that's that's the top end of the Cuckoo Line, isn't it? Redgate Mill, Rotherfield, places like that. Not far from Rotherfield, I'm right in thinking. Anyway, yes, it is.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Tim.
Okay.
I'm seeing you Friday, aren't I, Tim?
You are.
We're going to have a look at a shed. Very exciting.
Well,
men and their sheds, you know.
I'm sorry I can't be there.
Yeah, it's all good fun. Brilliant, Tim. Lovely to talk to you. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Tim.
No problem. I'll see you Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you Friday. Bye-bye. That's all great stuff, this. We've got some questions coming in on the thing. Conor McLeod has noticed your T-shirt, Motorhead. Well done. Observation skills are high there. And Star says, how is your kit still alive? We are having issues finding working hi8 to transfer our archive tapes.
Yes.
But you scour eBay, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're good at repairs, aren't you? Because you like to get the old soldering iron out.
Yeah, to some extent. Yeah. I mean, you sort of tinker with things to keep them going as long as possible.
Absolutely. Little bit of gentle coaxing.
Yes.
Ed Loud says, I still have an old near vintage VHS player. It's fairly easy to repair and maintain. With my granddad's dementia, he couldn't learn how to use the DVDs. It's funny when people say, because I'm of a certain age and you're of a certain age, we're all of a certain age.
I'm not as old as you.
No, I know you're not. But the thing is, when people say vintage VHS, you think, hang on a minute, this is not vintage. It's only a few years ago. It's not that long. Like hi8, it's not that long. It's not like 100 years ago.
No, that's true.
Things. I mean, when you talk about the old early Nokia phones, you think, well, wait a minute. I used to do the bill. And that was like 25 years ago, and we had the early Nokia phones. But technology moves on so swiftly now that things are becoming obsolete so quickly because we move on to new technologies. And yet, people love some of that old vinyls. You're a big vinyl man.
I love vinyl, yeah.
And you've got a massive... I mean, Dumpman has a sort of play pen, I'm going to call it. It's like a barn.
It's another shed, really.
It's a giant shed. And up on the first floor of this, I think there's only 2 floors.
Yeah.
It's a garage, effectively, but it's a lovely big shed. It's almost wall-to-wall with vinyls. Yeah. Mostly Motorhead.
It's not vinyls, it's vinyl, singular.
Oh, sorry.
Don't say vinyls, it's a terrible thing.
Is it?
Vinyl, strictly.
Vinyl.
Yeah.
But what's the plural of vinyl?
Vinyl is vinyl.
So you've got lots of vinyl.
Vinyl, that's it.
Not vinyl.
This is the youth that call it vinyls.
Oh, is it? I beg your pardon. Yeah, so I never really into vinyl.
You must have had a record collection, surely.
Well, I did. I had BBC sound effects.
I got a copy of that. That's cracking record.
There you go. You know, the horror ones.
The aeroplane taking off.
Yeah, all of that.
Very good.
That's what I used to have. On vinyl.
Yes, vinyl.
On a vinyl. I was never, unfortunately, when I was in that era, I was not really into music at all.
Right. Didn't have a copy of the Bay City Rollers album, or
No, none of that. My sister would have had all those sort of things, but I wasn't into. I did have a record player.
Yeah.
And the old-fashioned record player used to go at, I think it used to go at 16,
16, 45,
33, 45, 78. I used to have a hamster. So to exercise the hamster, I put it on at 16. It would do a quiet, gentle sort of walk. Put it on at 33. It was doing a jog. 45. It was running. 78 was across the room. Yeah, no, it's true. That footballer who kicked the cat has got nothing on me and my hamster, but I mustn't say that because I'll get cancelled.
I heard that. I was listening about that on the radio on the way down.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you do that? But then I did remember I did put my hamster on. But I was a young...
You thought the hamster was having a good time.
Yeah.
That's different to kicking a cat.
Yeah, he was a footballer, trained footballer who kicks a cat. You know, he should be... You need somebody giant-sized to kick him about.
Yeah, a giant hamster.
A giant cat. Maybe a big...
cat.
Yeah, big, lion, tiger cat. Maybe half a dozen. Bring back the old Roman... What's the name where you're fighting the animals? Colosseum. Is it Colosseum?
Yeah,
no,
probably.
Amphitheatre. Anyway.
Amphitheatre, yeah.
What other questions have we got here? Mark Burgess says, maybe you and Chris could do some comparison filming. Chris filmed in analog, Richard in digital. He'd win every time. Don't let me try and cope with him. Oh, we have another phone call. Yeah, he'll win. I'm sort of, still learning my trade. And Ed Loud says, still listening to Matt King Cole on a gramophone record in his coal cupboard.
Brilliant.
So there we are. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Evening, Richard. It's Sensible here.
Hello, Sensible Paul.
Hi there.
Hello, Sensible.
Dumpman. I can't. Is it Balkan Bridge where they're trying to is it the Highways Agency are trying to put all the gravel in there and cover it in concrete?
Barkham, not Balkham. Yeah, and they're just outside Lewes. I think they've won that battle now. I'm fairly sure. I run this little group on Facebook called Disused Railways of Sussex, and people update that fairly regularly as to how that campaign is going, and generally, the campaign to prevent the Highways Agency from filling in all the disused bridges around the country. I'm fairly sure I'm right in saying that they've stated that they're not going to fill in that bridge at Barkham. I hope I'm right about that.
Are they still doing it with the other bridges?
Some of them, yeah. Yeah, they've done some of them,
And it's irreplicable, is it?
Well, nothing is, but it's...
They'll never undo it.
No.
Well, some of them are like, people are walking, or it's a natural highway for the animals to get through as well.
Yeah, or even just a footpath, people ride their horses under there and all the rest of it. The problem comes where you've got a road that goes over an old railway, and all the cars and trucks and stuff. Eventually, those old bridges from the 18 whatever are gonna suffer, and either need strengthening at whatever.
They just don't want to pay.
They don't want to pay the expense. But actually, in the case of some of these bridges, it's been more expensive to fill them up full of junk than it would have been to do the repair work that would have lasted for many years. So it seems strangely...
I understood that it was £10,000 to repair,
right,
and £30,000 just to chuck all the stuff in it.
I think the figures were possibly bigger than that, but
it's barking when you think that these bridges that have been there, they've been there 150, 200 years,
150-ish.
So even if you repaired them to the standard they were when they were first built, you won't have to visit that problem in your lifetime. Some other bugger will be in charge of the railways, assuming railways, we probably got... I saw a video, somebody, I came up, I don't know where it was, on the news or something. Someone had a drone that you sit in and you can fly.
That sounds fun.
It's big enough. It's basically a quadcopter that you sit in and you can fly. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
I want that for all those landowners that won't let me go and film.
Yeah, it's just, they said this is the future, and I thought,
hover menacingly over the station. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can imagine you leaning over with one side. There you are in state-of-the-art quadcopter drone sitting thing with a high-8 camera.
With a high camera, yeah. A chopper strapped to the back.
With exactly, and tape coming out the side of the bloody thing. Ernie says, "Hi Richard, I have a large suitcase of 8mm and high 8mm cassettes between 1988 and 2006. Clubs, parties, filming bands, history of my social life. They'll be converted digitally in the summer. Yes, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? And you'll send it to somebody like Stars who does that sort of thing. And they have to keep their gear up to date so that people can store it on.
Yeah, I know my dad was into ordinary cameras. Then he got a cine film. So in his attic, there's loads of spools of film from holidays and all the rest of it.
The great thing about film, though, and if I had the choice of filming on digital or film, I would, if it was comparably priced, which of course digital is virtually free, I would film on film.
The thing is, all these people, that you have your analog supposed medium, your tape or whatever. If you get it converted to digital, what do you do with the original stuff? Do you just chuck it away in the belief that digital will be safe and sound?
No.
Or do you keep your original?
You got to. I mean, so here's what I do with my. I churn out tons of videos.
Yeah.
And at first, I would film on the digital onto an SD card or whatever it was. Shove it on the hard drive, make a backup of the hard drive, edit the thing, upload to YouTube, keep a copy of the master, all of that business. Now, I film it, I edit off the card that's been in the camera, I have a master, I make a backup of the master and edit and upload to YouTube. Then I delete the rushes. I can't store it. It's just too much. So in the end, I just think, golly, if it's not in the master video, it's gone.
Yeah, Richard, I mean, you're saying about the rushes. I suppose nowadays they don't really call them that, do they? Because of it being digital.
It's not rushed to anyone, is it? I mean, in the old days, the rushes was literally that. They were rushed through. You would have a basic print that would be shown to the studio in the morning, so that they would know if they'd got the take came out as they expected. Exactly. So you wouldn't call it that now, but these old terms, I'm glad that they exist because they mean something. They come from roots.
It is good. It's a conversation starter, isn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of young people go, "What do you mean by rushes?"
And say, "Go and look it up. Go and Google it."
Yeah, go and.
Or ideally, go and read about it in a book.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
go and get some film.
Anyway, Richard, I will go and let you carry on.
Thank you very much, Sensible. Lovely to talk to you.
All right, thanks. See you both.
Take care. Bye-bye. And as Star says, they're still called rushes and dailies. I think dailies was the sort of American version of it, that they would come out every day. I think that's true. Whereas over here, I think we called them rushes.
Right.
And when I made my children's TV pilot, we shot it in 16mm, and we had effectively a rush print or a work print, which we then edited, and you'd edit that and you'd chinograph all the fades and dissolves. So you'd actually draw on the film and you'd work out, I want a 24 frame fade here or dissolve, and you'd have to write it up. It was great training.
This must be magical.
Oh, and that's why I would go back to film if I could. It was just a joy. You hold it up and actually look at the thing, and it's there, and the quality was brilliant. It had a certain something, and I had a Steenbeck. Stars will know what I'm talking about. I had a Steenbeck editing machine, which was what did they call it? I can't remember. A flatbed. So it was like a desk, and the spools were lying horizontal as opposed to vertical.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was just fun, but you had to know what you were doing.
And were you sort of splicing as well?
Yeah, you would cut it.
Glue it back together and all that?
Glue it back. Yeah. And then I neg cut the... Did I neg cut the pilot? I neg cut one of the productions. I can't remember if I neg cut Snug and Cozy Pilot. But one of them I sent off to have done at the lab. And then we would get the master print, which we had telecined, onto VHS of all things, and sent that to the TV stations. But that whole process, I'm so pleased I went through it.
Yeah.
Because now when I do my videoing, I come from a... You just, it's part of your roots. Yes.
Yeah.
And I did go through the video thing, but I found the video, the 3 machine edits and all of that. Do you use 3 machines or 2 machines when you edit your stuff?
I just used a camera and a DVD recorder.
Oh right,
That's
okay.
I got a pause button. That's the editing suite.
It's got a pause button.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do with the pause button, ladies and gentlemen.
You're presumably filming as you're in sequence as much as you can.
Oh God, yeah.
Because you wouldn't want to have to swap tapes and put another tape in.
There have been times when I've had to do that, or you've gone so far and then actually so and so's given you permission to go in after all, and you go back. Or maybe you think, oh, it's a sunnier day, so I'll go back and do that again. And so I have had insane edits to do, which just drive you crazy. But once it's done, and
that's it.
Yeah. And people, they still go back to. I don't tell very many, but the people will still go back to the stuff from 2006 or 7 or whatever.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we should just mention. So if anyone's interested in the disused railways of Sussex going west down towards Devon,
Sussex, Hampshire, Dorset, Devon, all of the Isle of Wight, a little bit of Kent.
So to find out more information, it's Dumpman Films.
Dumpman.co.uk.
Oh, Dumpman.co.uk. There you go. And on there, you'll see all the instructions on what to buy and where to buy it and all of that. And you get this DVD.
Yeah.
You get it in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
You get amazing service. So if you order at 5 o'clock, you were telling me this evening.
Yes, it's true. He
will run down to the post office and get it off to you, so you should get it the next day.
Very quick.
Down to the postal service, of course, which isn't always reliable. And it's in huge detail, and they're relatively inexpensive. They are great value.
Yeah.
And it's a dedicated man. It's filmed in high 8, but don't let that put you off. And you can play it on your telly and on most laptops.
If you've still got a DVD player. I mean, I've had 1 or 2 people that have said, I can't have it, I haven't got a DVD player anymore. So I say to them, well, you ain't going to see the film, are you?
No. So that is, a lot of laptops no longer come with DVD players.
Yeah.
So what you'll need is something to put it onto an SD card.
Yeah, I can't get involved in that.
You just.
I mean, if you want to watch that kind of thing, watch someone else's, Watch his, Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Andy Dalgleese says, hi, Dumpman.
Hello.
Loved Lemmy's bass line, even better than Jack Bruce. Miss him.
I agree.
I don't know what any of that meant.
Lemmy was the bass player in Motorhead.
Oh, okay. Has he died?
And he played he's died a few years ago.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you're talking to an ignoramus here.
Jack Bruce, bass player in Cream, also dead.
Right.
They're all dead,
Oh, they're all dead, are they?
Yeah.
So it's a motor house. What is it called?
Motor House, even better.
Motor House is not going anymore. I'm rubbish.
The Motor House has tumbled down.
You better have talked to Julia when it comes to music. I'm absolutely rubbish when it's all there.
It's another time I've come here to meet you, and I still haven't met the lovely Julia.
I know, you must.
When are you going to be here, the lovely Julia?
We'll get you and lovely. We must go for a walk, all 3 of us.
Okay.
That would be fun. Whether it's with stations or whatever, just a stroll somewhere would be lovely. Ed Loud says, I love all this technical talk. I learn a lot from it, and it's entertaining. Station Master's Choice says, with digital, if you need a clip or a still from a video, you just use the editing suite to take what you want. And it's true. I mean, I think that digital is closer to film than video ever was, because it's a longer process in film, because you'd have to go and have another print actually printed or another neg made or whatever. But the editing software is very much revisiting that, whereas the video timeline of video is quite small,
right,
in compare to how films are edited, because of the 1 or 2 3 machine edits and that sort of thing. But it's part of history.
Not going to argue with you. Yeah.
No. Quite right.
It's your show.
A Steenbeck is a Mahusiv and weighs half a ton, literally, says Stars. I had one. It was only a 4 bed, 2-track. It was 1 track really. It had the picture and the audio, and so imagine this. You've got this. It was blue. They were in this sort of light blue colour desk.
Yeah.
with what was some form of monitor, but it was a back projection thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And you had a plate here, and a plate here, and a plate there, and a plate there, on which your full film spools ran through, and then your audio was on. It was on tape, but tape that looked like film, so it was all sprocketed. So it looked like film, but it was actually magnetic tape.
Yeah.
So that you can sync the two together with sync marks.
Yeah.
And you, it was lovely. I used to love it because it was so analog. Go like that, and then you'd see this thing flicking in front of you like this, and the sound audio was always pretty naff out of this little squawk box, I think they called it. Do they still call it a squawk box? And I remember, I can't remember where I got it from. I think I got it from an ex-editor who was telling, I seem to remember now, and he was telling us about it, and because he used to edit TV programs and all that, things like Minder at Euston Films back in the day, and they would do all this on these Steenbecks, but you could get them with like 2 or 3 audio tracks. So you might have the voice track on one, sound effects
with the music
on another, and music on the third, and you sync them all up. And then I also had this something called a pick sync, which was same thing but much smaller, but everything was vertical.
Yeah.
So you'd have it like that. So again, you'd have your film work print here. Then you'd have your gang of audio, and I think it was like 8 I could have. And you'd manually turn this thing, tiny little viewer, and you could sit. And I edited the Snug and Cozy pilot, which we got the series on the back of, using this little work print. I lost it now.
I think I've never heard so much love for analog in one evening. I mean, I thought I was that way inclined.
But film, anybody who's worked in film for any length of time, you fall in love with it.
Yeah.
It's a medium that just evokes something you can't pin on. And the digital video, it's like film, it just doesn't have the feel. You can't touch it. You can't. It's all on a computer, but the essence is there. That's why I like the video editing. It's quicker. It's instant. But that whole because you've worked with film, if you've worked with film, you get video editing because all of it's based on that trim bins. I mean, I don't know whether they still use a trim bin or bin. I think they still call it bin, but we used to call it. You'd have a bin with a little rack coming up there with pins in, and you'd put your rushes in the order that you're going to edit them together. It was just amazing. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It went off in a thing. Mr. Mocky says, remind everyone to put the thumbs up. Yes, do. We've had 101 people are watching currently. 45 likes. If you could like a little bit more, that would be lovely. Are
we short on likes?
Yeah, we're short on likes,
Does that matter?
Stars says, I have a Moviola. I can never remember how you pronounce that. Moviola. Next to the desk too. Yeah. I don't know whether Stars will remember this, but I had it was called Acme. I had an Acme editor. It was a green thing. It was a 19.
Sounds like something the Roadrunner cartoon.
Yeah, 60s thing. It weighed, I don't know, half a ton, and I never used it because it was valves, and I managed to get it up into the bedroom now, which was a spare room, with my neighbour who was a bodybuilder, a big F-off bodybuilder, and we got this thing up, and I was going to edit film videos on it. I never used it because it was valves and it was a bit dicky.
Yeah.
Amazing. Sorry, I've gone off. You've set me off. I can do things in video I can't in film, but I love the act of editing actual film, very tactile. I'd be interested to know what you mean by you can't do in video and not in film. But that's Mr. Norris. We're pretty much at the end of the show.
Are we?
Yeah.
Gosh.
I know, it goes so quickly.
I know, it rushes past.
Well, we normally only do an hour, but we've done an hour and a half on this.
Have we really?
Yeah.
Good grief.
Good gracious.
Very nice to see all of Richard's people again. Hello. Nice, great to be back.
So you must rush out and check out Dumpman's films. Have we covered that enough?
You can just saunter out slowly and check them out. There's no rush.
Yeah, there's no rush in High 8.
No rush, yeah.
You'll get the video, but you might not be able to play it because you may not have a DVD player.
No, you won't be able to play it, that's it.
I love that. And best of all is you can't just check it out on your phone.
No, presumably. I don't know.
Are you in that mode with most technology? Do you just avoid technology, or is it just in video?
I don't think I avoid technology, but I don't necessarily feel I have to change technology.
Do you think that we're progressing too fast? Change is too quick?
No, I don't think that at all. I don't find some of it all that interesting.
Right.
You know.
What?
As far as listening to music goes, I haven't found a better way to do it than listening to vinyl. So.
Because you must have bought your collection over years.
Yeah.
So why would you just throw it away and get a DVD?
Well, a lot of people do,
MP3?
you know. A lot of people proudly said, you know, I got rid of all my vinyl and I bought it again on CD, you know, and then it was, I got rid of all my CDs and I got digital. But
people are going back to vinyl though, aren't they?
Some of them, yeah.
You still get, I mean, I don't know much about it, but you do occasionally hear releases. We've made a vinyl-only album.
There's loads of vinyl, you know, that you can buy. You can buy just about anything new coming out now on vinyl. That's not.
Can you?
Yeah. I'm not deliberately anti-technology, but I'm just not that keen on some of it. So,
and it's a big ask to suddenly throw away a
perfectly good 35-year-old High 8 camera.
Yeah.
That might give you a crap picture, but my goodness me, it's a beautiful thing.
And did the batteries last very long?
Yeah, they're really good actually. That's one of the big plus points. I've got this great big battery and all day easy, you know. I mean, a week.
Gosh. Yeah, because modern cameras are tiny little batteries that give you like 2 hours if you're lucky.
No, 12-hour batteries, yeah.
You haven't got one of those. I remember there was this, for sale, you'd have this big sort of...
Satchel.
Yeah, satchel of batteries or a battery belt. People used to have battery belts that they would wear. And they would... I mean, that was early days of videoing.
Yeah.
And then you'd just, you know, get nonsense. Yeah. Dear, oh dear. Andrew Norris says, today I edited 6 video clips all showing together on one screen. Could never do that with film. Well, unless you had 6 projectors, of course.
And 6 screens.
And, well, you could project it onto the same screen, obviously.
Yeah, maybe.
All showing together. But yes, I see what you mean. But you could do that in digital, surely. You could simulate all of that. I mean, I would have thought. But different. Station Master's Choice says it would have taken ages winding the spools through the little screen and then splicing it all together. Took ages. But it's the time is the fun thing, isn't it? We're all rushing. Do you think we're all rushing for no reason? You're a very laid back man.
It's a front, you know. Underneath there's turmoil going on just like anyone else.
Are you a swan?
Probably.
A swan, a beautiful looking thing that underneath is doing this that nobody sees.
That's it. I don't know. What was the original question? Are we all in too much of a rush? Yes, probably we are.
Yeah.
Why are we in so much of a rush? Trying to fit so much in. Do you notice the way the advertising is always selling everything to you on the basis of doing more? You know, organise yourself. And get organised, and you can be more organised, and you can fit more in your life. I'm not too keen on that.
No, I think with me it's been age. As I've got older, I've started to question, because when I was younger I was much, you know, I was in for everything and doing things and being faster and all that. But now I'm just sort of questioning why. I wanted to have a career in television. I wanted to be a big actor. I wanted to be a film director. And I had a little blip in television, and suddenly I discovered television wasn't quite what I thought it was. The reasons people made television programs weren't for the creative input. It was to make money. It was a business, and that affected everything.
Shattered your illusion.
Shattered my illusion. And then I realised, and then I sort of got into YouTube and started to think, actually, I'd rather have a smaller, more dedicated, more interested audience than people who just switch it on and switch it off.
Yeah.
And you have artistic control in what you do, because I think being creative is a very rewarding thing, whether it's good or bad.
Alison says we need to slow down.
And there we are. And I just found that the world is going at such a pace, and now I'm much interested in trying to find. People think I'm always looking back and wanting to be in the old days,
Right.
but that's not what I want. I want to find. I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I want to still keep the baby.
And the bathwater.
And no, get rid of the bathwater. But people think as soon as you start thinking about looking back or what have you, they think that you want to dismiss everything new, and look back. But that's not it. There's things in the past, like doing things in high 8, slower and more, that because we just seem to be pushed and pushed. Media is selling us these concepts, these ideas.
That's the
buy
thing.
that.
That's the thing. You're being sold something all the time, and you don't have to. You know?
No. I think that's worthy of further investigation, but not tonight, alas. It sucks. It's a business, says Stars. Absolutely, yes. I'm doing it in digital, says Andrew Norris. Brilliant. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening. It's 9:30. We must disappear. Thank you very much, Dumpman, for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Nice to see you again.
You must come again.
I will.
We will talk about other things.
About 2 years, I'll be back.
Yeah, lovely. There's no rush.
Yeah, no rush.
We'll still be doing the usual nonsense.
I'm sure we'll get out in the field and do another railway related thing.
That will be good. That will be good. People love it. Well, thank you very much. Thanks to Judith and Julia, who've been out there in the moderation department, moderating the show. Thanks to everybody who sent videos that we haven't played in. We will play them in on Friday. Thanks to Bernie for his insight into Bodiam Castle, which was great. Thank you for the phone calls. Very kind of you. And, of course, for taking part in the chat. It's been great to read out all your stuff. And a big thank you to Dumpman.
Pleasure.
That's it. I'll be back with Julia on Friday, 8 o'clock, same time. Tomorrow on the Bald Explorer channel, I am on another Sussex border walk and I get lost. Yes, a lot of people tell me to get lost. And on this one, I do a bit of that. So something to look forward to. Tomorrow at about 7 a.m. it will be released. But until then, take care, look after yourselves. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.